Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened. Sad, sad. Homage to my teacher, Lokaswaminans. Sadhu. So, what is the main topic among people these days? One is about the fire in Switzerland. Did you hear?
I think it was New Year's Eve. Okay. Or was it New Year's Day? New Year's Eve. I'm very sure. So it was in Switzerland. There is a kind of a bar wherein people, they celebrate, but then for some reason,
And especially young people, right?
yes, because they want
Some even
party,
some teenagers,
countdown.
15 years old, 15 years old, 16 years old, in that nightclub. They put the fire sticks on champagne bottles, sparklers. And I think the first one was carried by a waitress. And then the kids, the teenagers, the young
All the
people
details.
joined after her, like a parade. They all carried that, and the ceiling was really low, and the ceiling didn't have a fire rated according to the fire built fire code. It was as I saw, there was some kind of sound absorbing the cloth panels, foam panels on the ceiling. It was really low, and they were carrying those sparklers and caught fire. And I also heard there were not enough exits. There were very narrow staircases in Switzerland, okay?
Yeah.
So there is no place on this earth we can say safe or avoid death, avoid tragedies. Like, it can be inside when we travel by air, by land, by sea, right? And when we are in a restaurant, when we are in a school, when we are in a bus stop, when we are in a train, when we are in the house, it can come to us anytime. And also, there is no age for ending the life. It can come to anybody at any age, right? And so they were having a party, all these young people, including teenagers, and they couldn't extinguish the fire. And then, mm, so far, I think more than 50, more than 50 people, mainly young and teenagers, have passed away. Hundreds have been injured with severe burns, right? It is a very sad thing, like how this precious human life disappears really quickly. And when I was learning that, this course from the Khuddaka Nikaya, chapter, the book of the Udana, the inspired utterances of the Buddha, and this sutta came to my mind. So I wanted to share that first with you. First, we are going to learn this, and then I saw how much pain in like I saw the videos, like the unbearable pain in those family members, the mothers, weeping mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, friends, due to the separation of loved ones, right? If some tragedy happens to somebody's life, Buddha's advice is to think that we have suffered in the same way in this long journey of samsara. The same thing have happened to us many times. We have lost our loved ones many times like that in this long journey of samsara. And every time when we see something happening, Buddha asks us to reflect on that truth. We have cried a lot due to the death of our mother, father, brother, sister, son, daughter, relatives. We have cried a lot, and that the stream of tears is greater than the waters of the four great ocean, right? So what did Buddha say? So try to understand this um, meaningless journey of this samsara and this miserable journey of samsara, and try to find the root causes for this repeated existence. Try to find the causes and try to find the way out as soon as possible. Because this samsaric journey is uh, is always full of those tragedies, painful situations. And the life we are spending now, still we are alive, maybe in good health, maybe we have enough wealth. Buddha asks us to not to get deluded or tricked by this temporary, happy, peaceful part of our life. This is due to a previous good karma that we are still experiencing the longevity, the wealth, the happiness, good food, the material pleasures. This is due to a very rare, powerful merit. But this existence of a being, this journey is not always supported by that kind of good karma. For the most part, this journey is handled and governed by bad karma. That is why that being who travels in this journey, most of the time, it spend time in those miserable rebirths, painful realms, right? So the life we are experiencing now is not about our whole journey. This is very rare. So, but mainly we have to travel this journey in the midst of those tragedies, through natural disasters, accidents, the wars, right? So that is why Buddha discovered there is only one solution to end everything forever, to end all the sufferings. That is to attain this amazing state, mental state, the blissful state called Nibbana, Nirvana, Nibbanang Paramang Sukham. Ultimate liberation, the deliverance, the enlightenment, Nibbana, is the only solution. And then Buddha discovered a path to achieve that. The path is called the Noble Eightfold Path. That's what Buddha shared with the world. The other amazing thing is, before sharing all this information with the world, Buddha personally experienced everything. Buddha first followed the Noble Eightfold Path, fully completed the practice. He experienced Nibbana or Nirvana personally, then only he shared with the world with guaranteed results, right? So that is very important. So I have shared this sutta from the Khuddaka Nikaya. Can everybody see? Okay, so let's read it together. Okay, can everybody read?
So I have in Utena. So I have heard. At one time, the Buddha was staying near Kosambi in Gosita's monastery. Now, at that time, while King Udena was visiting a park, his royal compound burned down. 500 women died, with Queen Samavati at their head. Then several penitents rode up in the morning, and taking their bowls and robes, entered Kosambi for us. Then after the meal, when they returned from alms round, they went up to the Buddha, bowed, sat down to one side, and told him what had happened. They asked the Buddha, "Sir, where have those lay women been reborn in the next life?" Among those lay women, there were three emperors, one retainers, and non-retainers. None of those lay women died without some fruit of their practice. Then, understanding this matter, on that occasion, the Buddha expressed this heartfelt sentiment. The world is caught up in delusion, but it looks on as making sense. The fool caught up in attachment is surrounded by darkness. It seems as if eternal, but for one who sees, there is nothing.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So this is the sutta with Pali. So these, you can understand these royal ladies. Yeah, they were the wives of King Udena, and also what do you call that? Harem, right? Harem of the King Udena. And after Buddha appeared, King Udena and these royal princesses in the palace got the opportunity to listen to the Dhamma, and they developed faith in the Enlightened One, and they started giving precepts. They were practicing the paths. Only some of the princesses, okay, and some were very mad. Some princesses were against the Buddha. Do you remember the name of one of those? The queen, Queen Magandhya,
Mahandi.
also was in this same group, like same harem of the king. But she had her friends and relatives. They were against the Buddha. So you can understand that not everybody in this world understands the compassion, the wisdom of the Buddha. So mainly Queen Markandeya was jealous at Queen Samavati and her friends. So because these Queen Samavati and her friends respected the Buddha. So then Queen Markandeya wanted to take revenge from the Buddha and also anybody who respected the Buddha. So it is said in the commentary stories that this was this plot. You call it plot, right?
Plot, she plotted.
Yeah, with the help of her uncles, and that's how this tragedy took place. They were all inside the royal palace. They are the area of the palace, and yeah, a royal court, and it was all locked by these people, the windows and doors, and then they burnt it down while they were alive inside, and that is what the monks heard and saw, and then they asked the Buddha. They didn't ask anything else. They just asked. They all have passed away. What is the question?
Where have those lay women been reborn?
Tha sambante upasikanang ka gati ko abhisamparayoti. It is very interesting, as we always come across this statement. How the disciples of the Buddha who lived that time always asked this question. Remember, we have talked about this even before. Unfortunately, this question doesn't come to our mind these days. Now you can understand how the human mind reacts to things in different time periods. And also in different, when they are in the different environments. When there were lots of spiritual masters, spiritual teachers in that part of the world back in time, they tend to ask this question. If somebody passes away, they are curious to know about their rebirth. Because the people got the opportunity to associate with these religious masters, especially including the enlightened one, who had extraordinary knowledge to see beings' rebirth, how beings are reborn according to their karma. And that was very common that time in India. That was very common to believe, for the people to believe that we are in a cycle of rebirth. After this life, we are going to be reborn, and some knew more details about it. And they knew that we are going to be reborn according to our actions. And there are two categories of worlds or realms to be reborn. One category is called the happier destinations. The other category is called the miserable destinations. Miserable destinations means rebirth in hell, animal world, and ghost world. Happier destinations means human world and heavenly world. People had that understanding or belief or general knowledge. And especially the followers of the Buddha, disciples of the Buddha, strongly believed in rebirth, and they were curious to know, because not only after somebody passes away, when they are living, that was a very important question in their mind. Where will I be reborn after death? Do my actions, will my actions take me to a happier rebirth? Will my actions will take me to a miserable rebirth? Will my actions lead me to attain stages of enlightenment or not? This question was always in their mind, especially the followers of the Buddha. Now, as humans, we live in a time 2500 years after the Buddha's passing away. It is different now. Spiritual path is kind of disappearing from humans' lives. Material pleasures are ruling everything, governing everything, material pleasures. In that environment, we forget this question. Will my actions lead to a happier rebirth? Will my actions lead to a miserable rebirth? Will my actions lead to the stages of enlightenment? We forget these questions. That is the difference. And that Buddha, right away, Buddha knew the answer. That's amazing wisdom and the extraordinary like psychic powers of the Buddha. Right away, Buddha gave the answer. Because Buddha has the triple knowledge. And one of those triple knowledge is to see how beings pass away and take rebirth according to their karma. Buddha didn't even ask, okay, give me like 10 minutes, I will tell you. I have to check. That's unbelievable power of wisdom and knowledge. Buddha gave the answer. Santetta bhikkhave upasikaya sotapanna. Monks, among those queens who passed away, there were some upasikaya. Upasikaya means definitely the female followers of the Buddha, female lay followers. They were extreme enterers. Some of them were extreme enterers. That means they were already, before they left this world, they had attained the first stage of enlightenment.
They died as
stream enterers. Princess, right? Always doing makeup, always joining to the parties in the royal palace. They have to, right? Always decorating themselves. But they didn't forget the spiritual path. And none of those things were an obstacle for them to develop faith in an enlightened one. That is different. Some people think doing makeup, singing, dancing, these things, you have to completely give up these things to develop faith in the Buddha. That is wrong. Because of that misunderstanding, some people are afraid of Buddhism. It's a misunderstanding. They think, no, I want to do makeup, I want to go singing, I want to live a happy life. Or this Buddhism, they say that is only talking about suffering. Oh, I don't want to. It's completely misunderstanding. All these princesses, They were living that royal life with beautiful dresses. But the transformation was happening not physically, not outside appearance, but inside the mind. And those outside things, the external things, were not an obstacle for the transformation happening inside the mind. Visākhā, we are going to learn about her in the next sutta. She was from a very rich family, and she had lots of money. She built a monastery, Purarama, with 1,000 rooms for the monks with her own money. Foundation is still in India. Puraram. Pubbaram in Pali. And Migaramatu Pasada. And she became a stream enterer at the age of 7. Then she got married. She had lots of kids. Then she had lots of grandkids. And she was wearing beautiful dresses. She was highly respected. She was invited to many weddings as a honorable, like a venerated lady, as an auspicious thing to have her. But the transformation was happening inside the mind, right? So we should understand things properly. So there were stream enterers. Among those princesses, Santi, Buddha explains here, Santi Sakadagaminiyo. Some of the upasikas, female lay followers, were once returners. They had attained the second stage of enlightenment before they passed away. Maybe they attained these stages of enlightenment while the fire happening. Maybe. In that last 15 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever, fire happening. It is said that the Queen Samavati, the head queen, she was giving instructions to all those other princesses who were about to leave this world. She was giving instructions such as, my sisters, don't get angry at anybody. Don't hate anybody. Most important thing is for all of us is us to now to think about the instructions of the Buddha. Don't hate anybody. Don't get mad at anybody. Spread limitless loving kindness to everybody, even to your enemies. That was a very good Kalyanamitta. Right time, right place. Every princess's rebirth was saved. That was the key. And the princesses themselves were ready to listen to her. They were humble. They accepted her advice. That is also important. We should receive the correct instructions as an external thing. It's coming to us. And internally, we should have humility. Being humble. Respect to the advice. Also understanding that our friend is trying to help us. That understanding helped them. Then Buddha explained, Santi Anagaminyo, some of those female lay women, lay followers were non-returners. That means So the last stage of enlightenment is the fourth one. That's called arahants, or liberated ones. Liberated ones. Liberated ones means liberated from everything. No more rebirth, no more craving, no more ignorance, no more defilements, no more suffering. Liberated from everything means that. Right? Liberated from accidents, liberated from natural disasters, liberation from insults, liberation from whatever. Liberation from all the sicknesses, cancers, heart attacks. Liberation from mental and physical suffering. That's the fourth stage of enlightenment. Third one, non-returners. Third stage of enlightenment. And those, like maybe they were, I have heard that ancient kings had very young girls as queens. Maybe they were in, who knows, 16 years old, age 17, 18, 19. We are talking about these. And they were able to, my point is, even though they were very young, they were still able to attain the third stage of enlightenment. Some of them. Isn't that remarkable? And maybe some of them attain non-returning stage, the third stage of enlightenment, while their bodies are burning.
They didn't cling to, the life they had at 16.
No, because especially they didn't got angry at the people who burned them. They protected the mind. They kept spreading loving kindness. And they kept practicing samatha and vipassana, the calming meditations and insightful meditations. They didn't give rise to any negative thoughts, unwholesome thoughts. They were only and they realized this is a very important moment in our life. We should only focus on the Dhamma, nothing else. Because they knew they cannot escape. Maybe they tried to open doors and windows, they realized everything is locked outside. And now they can see fire coming, smoke coming, and realized only Dhamma is our refuge. Right? So some of them are non-returners. That means they will be reborn in the Brahma world. That will be their final life and achieve nirvana there. And some of the female lay followers attain the second stage of enlightenment, which is once returning. So they were once returners. Sakadagami. This is Arahant, this is Anagami, this is Sakadagami. That means they will, after this life, they went to heaven and they attain final Nibbana there. They will not return to this world again. Okay, Sakadagami. They will, after that, they will only be born in one more life. And some of those princesses were once returners. Some of those princesses attained the first stage of enlightenment. They became stream enterers. And what were they contemplating on? The things, especially things like the meditation you just practiced before the Dhamma talk, the impermanent meditation, the Vipassana meditation on the six sense basis, five aggregates of clinging, four great elements, dependent origination, four noble truths. That contemplation gave them these results. Interestingly, Buddha explains here, none of those lay women died without some fruit of the practice. How many? None from how many? 500 princesses. They all died. None of them went to hell. None of them went to animal life, animal rebirth. None of them went to ghostly rebirth. They are all either in Brahma world, either in heavenly world, or even some in the human world. Because human world is also included in the happier rebirth. Okay? And Buddha explains here, Sabbata bhikkhave upasikayo aniphala kalang katati. They all attained some fruit of the practice. That is how Dhamma protects those who practice the Dhamma. And then this inspired utterance naturally came from the Buddha's lips. Moha sambandha no loko. The world is caught up in delusion. Because Buddha knows the background story of this incident. Buddha knows that there is another group of people. They have connection for this same story. But they are destined to be reborn in miserable places because of their delusion. The world is caught up in delusion. Bhabba rupova dissati. But everybody thinks this world is beautiful, this world is stable, you can rely on. This world gives all the pleasures you need. This is a very secure place. People are deluded, so they think otherwise. Upadhi bandhano balo. The stupid people, unwise people, caught up in the attachment because they see this world as a secure, pleasurable, agreeable place. What do? They get attached to everything. They get attached to husbands, they get attached to wives, they get attached to kids, they get attached to vehicles, houses, clothing, ornaments, money, power, fame. They get attached to everything. Tamasa parivarito. Beings are surrounded by the darkness of ignorance. Darkness of not knowing the truth of life. Four noble truths. Sasatoriva kayati. People think we are going to live forever. That's why people are so greedy. That's why they want to kill others. That's why they want to like be so powerful and mean to others, not kind to others, because people think we are going to live forever. Passato natti kinchanam. Powerful, wise words. But for one who understands the truth of life, what is the truth of life? Everything is conditioned, subject to change, right? One who sees the Four Noble Truths as they really are, natti kinchana. There is nothing to hold on to. There is nothing to develop attachment. There is nothing to consider as mine. I am myself. Like amazing wise words. If we have to leave everything behind when we go, is it advisable to hold on to things? You can understand that in the next sutta. If we become unwise to hold on to conditioned things, these results will be expected. Okay, so we are going to learn about that in the next sutta. So those princesses were so fortunate. Don't think they all passed away when they were still very young. Oh, what a sad thing. What, like they were very unfortunate girls. Don't think like that. Dhamma protected them. Cannot avoid death, cannot avoid sickness, cannot avoid old age, cannot avoid the results of bad karma. Okay? But you can avoid the rebirth in miserable places, and you can always protect your mind to save your rebirth and to save your path to enlightenment. Question?
Just thinking that you may not be able to take anything with you, but you can still leave behind lots for your children
Yes.
in the material world.
Yeah,
And then it's easier for them to practice.
definitely yes. And also, at the same time, the hard part is removing the attachment, the mental thing. Physically, you may leave things, but you will have attachment still mentally. And you will want to see, you will think how my children are going to use this wealth, whether they are going to use it in the right way. That attachment is also dangerous. Okay.
I was gonna say, in giving it to your children, they can also get attached to, you know.
No, like it depends on everybody's wisdom. If anybody lacks wisdom, attachment is possible. Wisdom is the key. And how to get that wisdom? One has to study, contemplate the teachings of an enlightened one. Because many people in this world don't have that opportunity to learn the teachings of an enlightened one, you can see suffering everywhere due to attachment. Okay, so please read this one. Here you can see how the pain that arose in the heart of a grandmother and then how the Enlightened One helped her to reflect on the teachings to overcome that pain. So I have heard.
At one time, the Buddha was staying in Savatthi in the silk longhouse of Nigara's mother in the eastern monastery. Now, at that time, the dear and beloved granddaughter of Visākhā, Nigara's mother, had just passed away. Then, in the middle of the day, Visākhā, with wet clothes and hair, went to the Buddha, bowed and sat down. The Buddha said to her.
So going with wet clothes and hair was a tradition at that time when they participated in a funeral. That's how they do. So then everybody knows that they had a funeral. Okay.
So Visākhā, where are you coming from in the middle of the day with wet clothes and hair? Sir, my beloved granddaughter has just passed away. That's why I came here in the middle of the day with wet clothes and hair. Visākhā, would you like as many children and grandchildren as there are people in the whole of Savatthi? I would, sir.
Okay, so this answer is coming from not from an ordinary grandmother. She was already a stream enterer. Somebody who had attained the first stage of enlightenment. But still you can see how far that attachment can go. Buddha says the love towards a son or daughter in the parents' the life, that love is like is all the way is inside the bones of that mother and father. That love for their kid. It's so difficult to remove that attachment. Okay, you can see the same thing here. Even though she knew lots of Dhamma, even like temporarily, her mindfulness was muddled. And that love and affection towards a beloved granddaughter came to the surface, and it was so powerful. That attachment so powerful because she was not here, right? This is the place where you get rid of all attachments. She's still here. But there's a difference between an ordinary mother and a mother who had attained the first stage of enlightenment. You will see that here.
Yeah, but non-returner, do they still have attachment?
They have, but very less.
But Visākhā, how many people pass away each day in Savatthi? Every day, sir, there are 10 people passing away in Savatthi. Well, there are 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, or at least one person who passes away every day in Savatthi. Savatthi is never without someone passing. What do you think, Visākhā? Would there ever be a time when your clothes and hair were not wet? Not so, no, sir. Enough, sir, with so many children and grandchildren.
Okay, so the enlightened one wanted her to understand the truth, the suffering, the cause of suffering, the end of suffering, the path, the Four Noble Truths by herself. And the enlightened one helped her to understand. So Buddha wanted to teach her that you cling to suffering. You cling to loved ones, means you cling to suffering. Look at now. You have a sad mind. But you like a sad, free mind. On the other hand, you want to cling to your loved ones. Because you said you like to have as many children and grandchildren as there are people in this whole city of Savatthi, a big city. Still, when Buddha asked her that question, still she said, I would, sir, I like. Because she knew that, oh, then I am so lucky. I have so many children, so many grandchildren. They bring joy to me. If one son, daughter, if one grandkid bring that much of joy, so how about the joy and happiness many kids can bring to my life? Now you see the previous Udana of the Buddha? Because the people are deluded. They take suffering as happiness. That is what is happening here. And then she said, oh, enough, Bhante. I don't need that many children and grandchildren. No, I don't know. At that point, so first, what was the strong feeling in her mind was love for kids and grandkids, right? And mindfulness was weak. Now, when she met with a Dhamma friend, in this case, the enlightenment, this was switched. Mindfulness became, after the conversation, okay? Mindfulness became so strong. That's why I said there's a difference between ordinary mother and a mother who had attained the first stage of enlightenment. And now love for kids, not completely gone. Love for kids, you can say not love. Even the liberated ones have love for all living beings. Here, attachment, okay? Attachment. So now, before her attachment for kids was strong, mindfulness to see the truth of life was weak. Now mindfulness to see the truth of life became very strong, and the attachment for kids became weak. It's completely switched with the meaning of an enlightenment. What is the unfortunate thing in many people's life, especially today, is that it's difficult for the switch. This will remain the same as will not switch. So the suffering will not go away. More and more suffering will be on the way. Now Buddha realized, okay, now she is back on the track, got her senses. Now I can teach deep Dhamma. Buddha realized, I can teach her deep Dhamma. And Buddha explains here, Visākhā,
Those who have 100 loved ones, Visākhā, have 100 sufferings. Those who have 90 loved ones, or 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, or one loved one have one suffering.
So the right way to read this is those who have 90 loved ones have 90 sufferings. Those who have 81 loved ones have 80 sufferings. That's how it's in the original Pali Sutta. Those who have 70 loved ones have 70 sufferings. Those who have 60 loved ones have 60 sufferings. Can you say like that?
Those who have 50 loved ones have 50 sufferings. Those who have 40 loved ones have 40 sufferings. Those who have 30 loved ones have 30 sufferings. Those who have 20 loved ones have 20 sufferings. Those who have 10 loved ones have 10 sufferings. Those who have 9 loved ones have 9 sufferings. Those who have 8 loved ones have 8 sufferings. Those who have 7 loved ones have 7 sufferings. Those who have 6 loved ones have 6 sufferings. Those who have 5 loved ones have 5 sufferings. Those who have 4 loved ones have 4 sufferings. Those who have 3 loved ones have 3 sufferings. Those who have 2 loved ones have 2 sufferings. Those who have 1 loved one have 1 suffering. Those who have no loved ones have no suffering. They are free of sorrow, stains, and anguish.
Okay, so not having loved ones means not having attachment for loved ones. That is special, okay? Because Buddha had so many students under him, and Buddha had limitless kindness, compassion for them, always thinking about their well-being. He was the kindest person in this universe. What was absent in his mind? Attachment for his students. And Buddha, after he attained enlightenment, he went to see all his family members, taught them the Dhamma because of his kindness, because of his love towards his family members. His former wife became an enlightened nun. His son became an enlightened monk. His father became an enlightened disciple. His mother attained stages of enlightenment. And his stepmother became an enlightened nun. Hundreds of his relatives became stream enterers, once returners, non-returners. Why? Because Buddha helped them out of compassion, not out of attachment. Okay, don't argue with me. If you don't have love, how then you will be a very rude and unkind person. Don't argue with me. Look at the life of the Buddha, how much kindness he had. Here we are talking about overcoming attachment. Still you can help others. You can be kind to others. You can be generous. You can be nice to others. And the true love will come when there is zero attachment. And Buddha said, those who have no loved ones have no suffering. And it is same with not only with people, but also with objects. Okay. If we have attachment for objects, let's say we have 1,000 objects. We have laptop, smartphone, bicycle, car, TV. Count how many. If I have 1,000 objects, that means I have 1,000 sufferings. This is good reminder, right? Then,
understanding this matter, on that occasion, the Buddha expressed this heartfelt sentiment. All the sorrows and lamentations and the countless forms of suffering in the world occur because of those that we love. Without loved ones, they do not occur. That's why those who have no loved ones at all in the world are happy and free of grief. So aspiring to the sorrowless and stainless, have no loved ones in the world at all.
sadhu, sadhu. When I see those mothers and fathers with unbearable pain, looking for their sons and daughters in ash, going to that bar, the nightclub, that building, is still looking for signs of life. I wish I could share this teaching with them. What else can stop their sadness, their sorrow, their grief, their pain for the rest of their life? What else? It's only the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding the Buddha shared with the world.
Doesn't it also stop their love?
I already said that, right? There are so many people in this world who love others, who like enlightened monks and nuns. They were not unkind people. They were not cruel people. They had so much love, compassion, kindness for everybody. What they didn't have was attachment. Attachment is the problem here. Attachment brings suffering. So if you want to help somebody to live peacefully, to live happily for the rest of their life, let's say somebody who lost their loved ones, and you want to help them to live peacefully and happily for the rest of their life, explain me a way other than asking them to remove attachment.
You love somebody, but you're not attached.
That's what I am repeating. Because that's what Buddha proved. That's what enlightened monks and nuns proved. That's what the people who attain the stages of enlightenment, who saw the truth of life, did. That's what they're asking others to do. And you can see everywhere in this world how attachment have created so much misery, so much pain. There is no any other way to live peacefully.
It's harder when they are old, I think.
No, it's not the age.
Yeah.
Age is not the problem here. It's the wisdom. Whether you receive wisdom or not. Please.
It created so much sorrow and so much pain, but didn't it also create so much joy and happiness and love?
Temporary. You mean attachment?
Mhm.
Very little happiness. Greater pain.
Even between a mother and a son?
Yeah. You can see when they lost, what happens? It's because of that attachment.
When they lost.
Compared to happiness, compare the suffering every mother and father experiences. Compared to the happiness they experience, the pain that mother and father experiences. Compare which one is greater. The happiness they experienced with the kid or the pain. I'm not saying.
I don't have kids, so I don't.
You very much. Less one less suffering.
They already said. They already said.
Bante, I have a question.
Please.
Oh, well, Bante, so I was thinking while we're talking about attachment. So, case like somebody is in a comatose state, I
What is
mean,
that?
is in coma.
Ah,
Okay? So lying, and then there is no, we thought that there's no life, but then there's still life, right? So this person is in coma state and didn't want to let go. So that means there is still that attachment to his or her loved ones, right? Until the day when he decides to let go, then he goes.
mhm,
Am I right? So that's the reason. Now, on the contrary, the loved ones of this person has also the attachment,
mm,
right?
mm,
And so that's why he didn't want to do anything to intervene, to stop, to finish it, right?
mm, mhm.
So yeah, so I was just doing a reflection. Now, a while ago, I raised my hand because I have a question, Bante. So the question is the the last instant wherein the person is dying, whether it's a sudden or whether it takes some time, the last minute that transform, that switch to good or bad determines his where he's going to be born, considering years of, let's say, his karma, whether it's a bad one. I want to give an example. For example, a murderer who is locked in the prison for many years because he has killed many, many people. Now he's very bad inside the prison. Okay. Now, but then in the last minute, wherein he suddenly, because of a Kalyanamita, came to tell him about um
The,
yeah, because he has to be hanged or he has to die, right? And in that very last instant, he he resent everything that he did. So do you think Bante, when he's reborn, he may go to he may reborn to human or heavenward because of that instant?
okay, are you ready for the answer? So what happens is throughout his life, what was generated was bad karma, right?
Yes.
It's like this. Okay, this is the bad karma in his life. Now, 70 years old, let's say, this is a bad karma, okay? And now he has five more minutes to live, or 10 more minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And that time, he got the Dhamma,
Mm-hmm.
and he had this remarkable mental power. Now maybe he was feeling guilty, he was feeling remorseful what he
Mm-hmm.
had done. And now he receives the instructions of an enlightened one or a disciple of an enlightened one, how to think wisely. Now you are going to leave this world. What are the things that should be in your mind now? Right instructions at the right time from a right person. If his mind had that power to grasp that teaching and to place confidence in that teaching, that this is the teaching I should contemplate on now. And if he practices that, let's say, maybe he focus on the qualities of the Buddha, start contemplating on the qualities of the Buddha according to the instructions he received. Maybe he was doing the loving kindness meditation. Maybe he was contemplating on the impermanence of conditioned things according to the instructions. This whole thing was bad karma, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the karma he creates, the karma that is created in his life based on a powerful, wholesome object, mental object, such as the qualities of the Buddha, such as the loving kindness, such as the vipassana, that karma becomes like this. This karma was arranged within the duration of 70 years. This karma arranged within the duration of 10 minutes. And let me finish. This decides, this can 99%, this can decides his rebirth.
10 minutes.
You want to read more about this? Read the sutta Mahamevnawa Vibhanga. Is it Mahamevnawa Vibhanga? Yeah, Mahamevnawa Vibhanga Sutta. Mahamevnawa Sutta. When Harry was asking that question, I was not shocked because the same question was asked 2000 years ago from Arahant called Nagasena by a king Milinda. He asked the exact same question. So I had read that book, so I knew the answer. This is how Arahant Bante explained. The king said, Bante, when you are teaching people, you say somebody who had doing bad things and had accumulated bad karma for many, many years, and the last moment in his life, a Kalyanamitta goes to him and explain the Dhamma, and then he starts thinking about it, and he start contemplating on wholesome thoughts, and then you say that that person will be reborn in heaven. I cannot believe this. That's what he said. Harry didn't say that. So then Arahant Nagasena Bhante explained, it's also the karma doing this. This was the result of bad karma. And within the last 10 minutes, he generated a powerful good karma. And this good karma changed his rebirth. But when you think about these people, once returner, where is that? Once returner, stream enterers, once returners, non-returning arahants. Last moment is not relevant.
Oh.
When they were alive, their rebirth is already arranged to a good rebirth. Last moment, not relevant means because their good rebirth, happy rebirth is already arranged by the karma of realizing the Four Noble Truths. They all realize the Four Noble Truths. That karma is so powerful that last moment it cannot change to a bad karma. Question.
I got the answer. If they always good plus woman, they have a bad thoughts, but they say
Impossible.
got the answer. Thank you.
See the benefit of patience. Okay, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, Harry.
Yes, Bante.
Happy.
Bante, follow up. So what if
Okay.
this person, okay, learned Dharma in the last 10 minutes and then
But
he repent?
don't wait until that happens because who guarantees you that the Kalyanamita will arrive at you?
Yes. Now, Bante, he
No
learned,
guarantee.
repent, but then, although he understands, however, he is afraid. There's fear. He's still afraid that he may be reborn in hell
Who
because of
had the fear?
it. So what will happen?
Who had the fear?
That person, the prisoner,
No, he has to overcome fear.
because fear is defilement, right?
Yeah.
So he
And
has to do that. Okay.
that's why you all should go to prisons and explain this teaching to the prisoners. You should not feel regret about what you did. Now you're getting punishment for that. Okay, don't live with a sad mind. Don't live in this prison for the rest of your life with a sad, remorseful mind. Develop good karma. Living in this shell. Develop good karma. Practice loving kindness meditation. Many prisoners can go to heaven. If Angulimala Bhante had the power to change his karma, why can't others? We all should try to change the bad karma to good karma. Does the world know this lesson? Unfortunately, no. Due to some bad karma, due to some evil actions they made, some people are remorseful for the rest of their life. Right? That's not what should happen. So please share these teachings with everybody you can. Okay? While you are practicing, try to share it. Always there is opportunity for improvement, to change.
Okay. So this bad karma is only on this present life. So how about the past one?
You can also add, but still this can go higher.
They want the good karma also from past life.
No, like we are talking about the good karma only from this life. Only from this life. And this bad karma can go all the way to many lives before. But still, this can be powerful than this. Collectively, all the past lives, bad karma, can be overcome by this 10 minutes good karma. That's the power of a Buddha's dispensation. The wholesome intentions the world receives from a Buddha's dispensation. Okay?
If your sutta is strong, it's a possibility that they became Sotapanna.
Even stages of enlightenment are possible, let alone happy rebirth. Even stages of enlightenment are, like one time when Sariputta Bhante gave instructions to a friend, that friend had not a righteous living. That friend was doing bad things. And then Sariputta Bhante taught him the loving kindness meditation at the last few minutes. He was practicing loving kindness meditation. And then Sariputta Bhante said, I don't need to teach him about Four Noble Truths because it will be like, maybe he thought like that, maybe it is too difficult for him to understand. And also he is a Brahmin, not a follower of the Buddha. So their main goal is to be united with the Brahma, to be born in the Brahma world. So this is enough. Loving kindness meditation is enough for him. Right? And Buddha saw what was going on. And then when Sariputta Bhante returned, Buddha asked what happened. And then he explained. Buddha said, no, before Sariputta Bhante arrived, he said before or after? And then Buddha said, Sariputta, why didn't you help him to achieve more? Now he is in the Brahma world. Why didn't you help him to achieve more? In other words, why didn't you teach him about Four Noble Truths? About 5 aggregates of clinging? About dependent origination? If you had taught, he would have attained the stages of enlightenment. That was the implication of the Buddha. Right? So that means it's possible for somebody to attain even stages of enlightenment if that person receives the right instruction, the pure Dhamma from a true Kalyanamitta. But who knows where we are going to pass away? We don't know whether they are when there is a Kalyanamitta with us, we don't know. That's why we should practice Dhamma in advance. So even without help of somebody, we can contemplate the Dhamma by ourselves and get that protection. Right? Sadhu, sadhu.